First of all, thank you very much, Hiran. I learned something new. I'm also able to change my background. Thank you teaching me a new thing. I appreciate that. Okay, and you are feel free to teach me as we go along. Don't treat me as a teacher. I'm treat me like a friend, and you can correct me wherever you want to. You have that freedom. Don't be too formal with me. Okay. So I have changed the order a bit. Earlier, I thought of covering the ability to use Windows as well as Mac laptops, and then I want to talk about basics of computers. But I realized that teaching these things first is more important than getting into ability to use the computer effectively. Then we will get into that. And also, uh, one of the parent have asked me to add one more topic to this, which is very relevant, and I'm going to add that also, which is nothing but uh, importance of privacy. Okay, so when you start using your computers, you should know how to make sure that your private information is not shared with others. It is very important to understand that. And thank you very much, Greta, to bring it up. Greta is Alexandra's mother, and thank you very much to bring it up, and I will make sure that it is also covered. That being said, now let's talk about basics of computers. But before getting into basics of computers, right, I want to emphasize on one thing, which is nothing but observing the things around. Okay, and by observing the things around and by learning from the observation, you can actually implement those in other areas, and you should be able to accelerate your learning. So here I'll be asking few questions to you, and you can raise your hand and I will unmute and you can answer that question. If no one is answering, then I will randomly select one and I will ask that person to answer the question. Don't unmute and answer the question. First, raise your hand. Okay. And if there are more than one, I will choose one of them and one of them can answer that question. Okay. The question is, let's say you go to a library and you are trying to pick up a book. I think most of you have gone to library several times in the past, right? Yeah. So as you have gone to the library and as you want to pick up a book, okay, within few minutes you should be able to pick up a book. But many times at your home, you might not be able to pick up a book. When you look at the difference, the library is very big and still you should be able to pick up the book in few minutes. The librarian will be able to answer whether the book is available or not. Okay, even without computer, he will be able to answer. Forget about having computer. Okay, there is a way to figure it out even without computer, even when computers are not there. So why when you go to a library, you are able to pick up a book very fast, but why you are struggling to find the book at your home? Can anyone raise your hand to answer that question? I hope everyone got the question, right? You might be struggling to find a book at home, but when you go to a library, you are able to get the book in no time, even though the size of the library is quite big. Okay, Shlok have raised the hand. I didn't see anyone raising the hand, so let Shlok to answer. Pritam also raised the hand, so okay, very Shlok. How come I can't see? Okay. I think a few people are switched to attendees for whatever reason. Let me make them panelists. Okay. So Shlok, will you be able to answer that question? I hope you heard the question. Yeah, go ahead.
So it's sorted at the library.
Okay. What else? Anything else you have observed apart from sorting? That is right. That is one answer.
A, B, B, B.
Yeah.
Or the type like author.
Yeah. Got it. So let us give chance to others also. Preetham also raised the hand, right? Preetham, what else do you think is facilitating us to get the books faster in library?
In library it's pretty organized, and then like letters and numbers.
Yeah. So what is that called? Anyone know? Having books um, sorted in letters. So Shlok and Preetham are right. Books are sorted and placed in the racks. Okay. But to search it, the librarian uses something, or you also use something sometimes. On the side of the racks, you will find something. Do you know what is that called as? Yeah. Others, you can answer. Let me unmute you, others. Yeah, go ahead. What is that called?
Serial number.
Oh, it's hidden. Okay. Not correct. Others, let me. Yeah, you are unmuted. You can also
Okay.
try.
Alphabetical order.
Yeah. So there is a term for that. I will give the. Most of you are able to answer it, but you are not using the right term, and it is called as index. Okay. So the librarian will have an index, and the racks will have the books in a sorted order. Because the books are sorted in a proper order, and there is the index which will tell in which rack the books are, he is able to find the books very quickly. Okay, that is one thing I learned from library. No one taught me that, and glad that some of you have observed and picked it up already. Now let's talk about the plane. Most of you might have flew in the plane, right? Okay, can someone explain how the people are let in into the plane? Anyone who want to answer can raise the hand. And what is the observation while letting the people into the plane? What is your observation while letting the people into the plane? Anyone? Okay, I'll let Hasni answer that because she flew few times to India. So I will let Hasni answer that. So let me unmute you, Hasni. Can you give a try? What is your observation when you see that people let into the plane?
Well, it could be danger for other passengers.
Okay.
Hmm.
No, my question is, what is the procedure typically they follow to let the people into the plane?
Oh.
Not sure. That's fine. Don't worry if you don't know the answer. We will see. I just want to make sure that you observe these things going forward. Yeah, Hiran, you can give it a try. Also, Ipshita try to unmute in between. If Ipshita want to answer, Ipshita also can answer. But first, let's give the opportunity to Hiran.
There are a lot of steps. Usually they do a check-in, then they do security check, and then they do a passport check. And like there's terminals and multiple letters to each terminal. You have to find yours and you have to get ready. And then when you're on the plane,
let me interrupt you here. My question is, what is the procedure to let people into the flight? So I am only asking about the last step. Okay, I'm not talking about how to get into the get to the gate where you have to board the flight. I'm asking the last step about what is the procedure to get the people into the flight.
So there's like a long thing. I think it's a tube. It's like really big, so all the people walk through it, And then at one point it connects to the plane and then you get on.
Yeah. So that's what I'm asking, the step before that, just before that. Anyway, we'll come back to that. I will try to explain, but first let Ipsita also give a try on that. And also I will let Naina also give a try on that. Ipsita, can you give a try?
They call over the intercom like the flight's boarding, and then they like everyone like gets lines up, and then you hand your ticket in, and then you go on the plane.
Okay. Naina, you can also give a try. We cannot hear Naina. Are you talking? You have unmuted, but for some reason we are not able to hear. I think you are able to hear us, but we are not able to hear you. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, if you want, you can talk, Naina.
They call over the intercom based on the seat numbers. The first 30 seats and then the next 30 seats, and people enter seat twice.
That's right. So that's a very keen observation. And it's a very good observation, but I will take this to the next level and I will explain few more things over there. Okay. They typically don't let the first 30 people, they typically let the last 30 people in most of the international flights. In domestic flights, it's a bit different, but in most of the international flights, they will let the last 30 rows, not 30 people, last 30 rows or 15 rows, depending upon the size of the flight. They will let the last few rows first, and then they will move forward.
I've never boarded an international flight.
Yeah. So the reason why they let the last people in the last rows first compared to people in the first rows is because if they let the people in the first rows first, okay, while they take time to settle down, the others are blocked, right? Now, if they let last few rows people first, they will go till the end of the plane, and then even if they take some time to settle down there, the flight attendants can make sure that other people are also let the people in. Okay, so that is the reason why they let the last few rows people first, and then they move forward. Okay. And also if you keenly observe, first they let the old people and people with infants, those are the ones that are let in, and then they actually board the first class and other premium customers. Then they will let the people in the last rows, then the next to last rows, so on and so forth. Okay, so it is very important to understand these things, why they are able to run the flights efficiently, why the libraries are run efficiently, why you are able to find the files find the books very quickly in the library. Okay, and you can implement these things throughout your life, and you will be empowered with a lot more time and energy, which you can channelize into a right direction. Okay, so teaching you about files and all will not take very long time, but unless and until you pick these additional skills to organize yourself better and to manage the stuff better, your life will be chaotic throughout. So make sure you organized in a bit better way. Make sure you follow certain procedures and standards. For some people in the beginning, you feel it's a bit of overhead and you tend to ignore. Don't ignore. Make sure you implement these things as you grow. Okay. So that being said, now I'll be talking about these files, file extensions, managing files. We will see how much we can cover in next 15-20 minutes. I will not take too much of time. We will continue as part of the next session. And also, I hope you are practicing typing. From next week, you have to tell what is the progress of your typing. You have to spend at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes thrice a week. Okay, at least 3 times, each time 30 to 45 minutes. You have to take care of the exercises one after the other by going to typing.com. That is your homework. And you have to give me the update on the Saturday's class. How many exercises you have done, and if there are any challenges you are facing with respect to the typing, you have to explain that also to me. And then I will try to simplify some of the things if at all I can. Okay. I hope every one of you familiar with file on a computer, right? A file is nothing but a image or a can you guys also give some examples what is a file? Then we will take it further. Raise your hand and I will let you talk. Yeah, Hiren, what is a file? Means give me some examples for a file. Don't explain what is a file, but give me some examples about files. What type of files you have used so far?
I haven't actually used any files. My dad is usually the one, but I know a few files I use is like my school file where I store some of my school items.
Okay. Yeah, Hasni. Okay, so one thing here, I know you people are new to this. So when I say raise the hand, as part of the Zoom app also, there is a feature to raise the hand. Okay, so make sure you start using it. I saw you, Hasni, but sometimes as there are quite a few students, I might not be able to see if you just raise the hands in the video. Okay, so there is a way to raise the hand as part of the Zoom, and make sure that you use that. If you are not comfortable, let me know. I will try to cover how to raise your hand using Zoom also. So first I will give opportunity to Hasni, then Ayush. Okay, yeah. Hasni, you can unmute and you can tell what kind of files you have used.
Well,
as
in
part
my
of your
parents'
computer.
computers, they have picture files.
Okay, photos are files.
Mhm.
Ayush, what about you? I have unmuted you, Ayush. Oh, okay, it is not unmuted yet. Yeah, now it is unmuted. Go ahead.
Are you still sharing your screen? Because I can't see your screen.
Who is his video, you mean?
No, I can't see your screen. Are you
Oh,
sharing?
yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Can you guys
Yeah.
see my screen?
I can
Rest
only
of the
see you. I can't see your screen.
Okay, that's fine. Don't worry too much about it. I'll come back to this. So if you don't know, do you want to give a try about what type of files you have used as part of your computer?
Like.
Okay, it's fine if you don't know. Anyone else want to give a try about the files? Yeah, Naina.
So at school, I've made files which are test documents.
Okay, there are text documents, there are images. What else?
Yeah.
Anvita, can you give a try? Yeah, you muted again. Let me unmute you. Yeah. So what type of files you have used?
Who have used files?
Not sure? That's fine. So I will explain. Okay. I have muted everyone. First, let me sort this issue out with Ayush. I don't know, he's not able to see the screen, but the rest of the folks are able to. Ayush, is your dad around? Can you ask him to help a bit? Hiren?
Ashu. Ashu.
Okay. That's fine. I will share the recording also, so don't worry too much about it. You will be able to see through the video later, and you should be able to pick up. Even if you cannot watch, we'll continue. Okay. So what are the examples of the files? A video is a file. You might have watched movies in your computer, right? A video is a file. A picture or a photo is a file. Even when you play the games in your computer or even your mobile app, there will be files associated with it. So you are interacting with files in your computer whenever you are using your computer. Even if you go to gmail.com or youtube.com, under the hood there will be a file associated with it. I will explain what those files are at a later point in time, but for now we will primarily focus on text files or Word documents. These are the things which we will be discussing. I will get into the details about Word documents at a later point in time. Okay, so here I'm going to demonstrate using Windows computer because most of you are using Windows. So I'm connecting to that. Just give me a moment. Then I will share my Windows computer also. Then we'll take it further. Okay, there is something wrong in a. Let me connect. Yeah, I'm connecting to my Windows computer so that I can demonstrate. Can you guys see my Windows computer? You should be able to see the folder which says quick access in it. Everyone able to see, right? Or do you see any issues?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let me mute everyone. Okay, now I am getting into the files. So if you look at this, this is a plain computer. I don't have anything on this yet. Okay. And I am going to a folder called as documents. I will talk about the relevance of documents at a later point in time. And I am just creating a directory here just to keep track of some files that will be part of the demo. So let me give it as, let me give the name as basics of computers kits. And now I am here. As of now, there are no files at all. So depending upon the tool you want to use, you have to launch that tool and you can start creating the files. However, why I have asked you those earlier questions about library and airplane, letting people into the airplane and all, it is very important to think about organizing your files from your first file. Okay, most of you are students and you might want to create files for a given project, right? And you might want to keep track of your progress as you grow. Okay, and you might want to put all the school projects in one folder. Okay, so you can actually start with a folder, and in that again probably you can I will come back to the folders in a moment. After explaining the files, I will come back to the folders, and also I will tell you how to organize your folders as well. So let's say you want to create a document for your project. First and foremost, you have to identify which tool you should use to create your project. Okay, sometimes the project might be just plain text, You just have to type few characters and numbers, and you might have to give a print that document and give it to your teacher. In some cases, you might have to use images, and then you might have to create the document. In some cases, you might have to do take care of the videos also. You might have to record your video and you might have to send it to your teacher. Like this, there are different types of homework which you might get, or even as per your interest, you might want to do some projects with your friends. And based upon that project, you have to give the name to the folder. And then in that folder, there might be multiple files to begin with. And finally, you might want to consolidate depending upon the requirements of your project. Now, let's take okay, Shlok, want to ask some question? You can unmute yourself and ask the question, Shlok, if you have any.
Isn't this the same as Google Drive?
Okay, we will get into the Google Drive later. I will tell what is this as part of the next session when I actually talk about how to use your computer effectively. But to answer your question, to make sure that your question is clarified at least up to an extent, I will tell you a bit about it. Okay, let me mute everyone here. Yeah. So this is called as File Explorer. And how to get into this if you are using Windows computer? At the bottom of the screen, you see this yellow icon. Okay, you can always get into this File Explorer by clicking on this. If you are using Mac, let me also demonstrate how to get into this using Mac. Okay. Okay, for some, okay, I know what is the problem here. I have to because I'm sharing my Windows computer, it is causing a bit of problem. Okay, let me see how to get into my Mac. Let me close the Windows computer for now, so that I can also demonstrate using my Mac about how to get into that File Explorer thing. What? Oh my God. Let me do this. Yeah. Okay, I am not able to pull this in. So what I'll be doing is I'll be showing you an image and then I will explain, because I'm not able to pull this dock into the main screen. So I'm actually showing you the image of a Mac desktop.
I can't see your screen. Are you sharing
Okay.
it?
Yeah, thank you. I think it is disconnected. Thank you very much, Alexandra. I will share my screen, okay?
Okay.
This is giving me a bit of surprises. Just give me a moment. I will figure it out. What happened? This Zoom is behaving a bit weird today. I'm not able to see any of you here. Okay, let me try this. Interesting. Yeah, now I got it. Still, I'm not able to find. This zoom is a bit bothering me today. I don't know why. I'm not able to. Yeah, now I got it. I'm able to figure it out. Now let me share my screen. Now I'm opening the browser and I'm saying Mac desktop. So if you look at this bottom part, right, in the Mac, it is called as dock. On the leftmost, there is something called as Finder. Okay, I can also show you the image, Mac Finder icon. So you will find something like this on your Macs. So this is the one which is similar to the File Explorer in the Windows. Okay, now let me connect to that Windows desktop and then we will take it further. So even on Chrome notebooks, you will find similar icon. If you cannot, let me know. I will see into your screen and I can explain. I don't have much of experience with Chrome. That's why I'm not able to show how it will look like. You can actually click on those icons to get into this. So in Windows, it is called as File Explorer. In Mac, it is called as Finder under the dock. And if you don't find here, you can also click on this and search for File Explorer. And you should be able to get in there. So to answer your question, Shlok, this is what it is. And Google Drive is similar to that, and you will understand more about Google Drive as we proceed further. Now here you can actually create your files. Typically, I store all my project related documents in Documents unless I want to store it in Google Drive. When I talk about Google Drive, I will also explain how to organize these things. Okay. So here, first, you have to make sure that the folders are named properly. Once the folders are named properly, you have to identify the tool which you want to use for your project. And then you have to open that tool. Let's assume that I want to create a PowerPoint. Okay. For that, I need to have a PowerPoint on this, and I have to open that up and I have to create the presentation. So on this Windows machine, I don't think I have PowerPoint. Let me see. If I have, I will be using it. Otherwise, I will be using something else. So I don't have PowerPoint installed. That's why it is not coming up. It is asking me to install. I don't want to waste your time by installing it now. I'll take an example of a text file, very simple text file. In Windows, there is something called as Notepad. If you just want to type something and if you want to print and submit as homework, there is a basic editor called as Notepad. Okay, so we are assuming that we just want to document few things and we want to print for our project. Now, immediately after opening your tool, first thing what you should do is, how I launched this, I went to this search bar and I said Notepad, and it opened this file. Sorry, it opened this interface. This is called as the editor. This is not an actual file. The file will be a text format file, which we'll see in a moment. It opened editor. As part of the editor, you can add the content. Editor is like a book, and in that book you will write, right? So similar to that, we can start writing into this by typing into it. Okay. First and foremost, what you have to do, you have to save this with a appropriate name. By default, you see here, it is saying untitled. On top of the editor, it is saying untitled, and it is also telling what type of tool it is. So Notepad is the editor which we are using, and untitled is the default name of the file. And what is the location of it? We don't know. It will save into some random location depending upon something called as preferences. Don't break your head about that at this time. Don't worry too much where by default it will be saved. The most important part is you have to choose the appropriate location and you have to save this file in that location. So you can go to File, click on Save As. Okay, in this case you can see it is directly getting into this PC documents. Okay, but I don't want to save in the documents directly. I want to save in the basics of the computers, and then I want to create the file with some name. Let's say the file is about storytelling. The project that is given to you is you have to highlight the steps that are relevant for storytelling. Okay, so I have named it as storytelling like this. Now I saved it. Now you see it is saying storytelling. Even if you close it, the file is there in this location. You can open any time and you should be able to add details with respect to your project into this. Okay, so the first step of storytelling is prepare the content. Okay, if you want to use the computer to tell the story, you can actually create a document. The most effective way of telling the story using a computer is using PowerPoint. Okay, so create a document using PowerPoint and then create slides based on the story, add animations, and we will learn all these things. We will learn all these things as we get into the PowerPoint, Google Docs, etc. at a later point in time. Okay, add animations and then present it. So this is modern way of storytelling using your computer. Okay, so I can save this, and whenever you type something, right, typically there will be a star here. At this time it is not showing in this editor, but in many cases there will be a star beside this emphasizing that the file is not saved yet. Okay, but in this case it is not showing, but if you see the star beside the name of the file, it means it is not saved. So before closing your computer, make sure you save it by saying Control S on Windows laptops and Command S on Mac. Okay, if you are not sure about the keys that should be used, those are called as shortcuts. If you are not sure about the shortcuts, then you can actually say File and then Save, and then it will be saved consistently. Whenever you made changes, it will be saved. If you say Save As, every time it will ask you to it will make things a bit complicated. Don't use Save As every time. You just have to save as once, first time, to save with a particular name in a particular folder. After that you just have to say Save. Okay, just go to File and Save, and it will be saved, and you can see the shortcut here, Control S. So this is how you should be able to create a file. I have demonstrated using Notepad, but you should be able to take care either using Google Doc or Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint. You should follow these steps. So this is how we actually create file, and we can have as many files as we want. And over a period of time, there might be too many files here. Okay, if you have too many files, you should be able to access these files pretty fast. Because we name the folders in a particular way, we should be able to access those files pretty fast. So for example, let's say you are in 5th standard or 6th standard and you started using your computer. One of the way to create the folders, now I'm talking about folders. I have covered about files, now I'm talking about folders. And after folders, I will conclude and we will take it to the next class. Now, when it comes to folder naming conventions, again, go back to that indexing, sorting, etc., right? So you have to think from that perspective and you have to start organizing your stuff. One way is you can name the folders with your class name. That is one good practice. Another way is use the year. Okay. So as of now, we are talking about 2019 and 2020. Educational year is not same as the calendar year. Calendar year starts at January 1st and ends at December 31st. but educational year is different depending upon which country you are in. Educational year is significantly different. For US, it is from it starts from September and it ends typically in May, and then you will get summer holidays. In India, educational year starts typically in April. There will be a summer holidays in between, and then again it continue in June and it ends in March. Okay, so educational year is different from calendar year, and the way you can name the years, especially the educational years, is like this. You can say new folder 2019. You can say EY. EY stands for educational year 2019-20. Similarly, when you go to the next year, you should follow this naming convention. It is very, very important to follow these naming conventions so that the sorting and indexing is automatically taken care of. You should be able to access your files with ease. Okay, and if you want to create another folder for the upcoming education year, you can say new folder EY 2020-21. Like this, you can add year as you progress. And then another thing what you have observed as part of the library, categorization. Even if you go to the grocery stores, they not only sort the items in a particular order, they also have categories, right? They have spices in one area. And if you actually go to a conventional store or superstores like Walmart, right? They sell not only grocery but also other stuff. So as part of the grocery also, they have category of fruits, they have category of vegetables, they have category of frozen food. Like that, there are categories, right? So even when it comes to your work, you need to think through how to organize so that you can go to the details whenever you want with ease. So even after 10 years, if you want to access the file which is created today, you should be able to just go through the directories and should be able to identify the file. Within few minutes, you should be able to get in there. So that's the importance of organizing and indexing, and those things are automatically taken care as part of your computer as long as you follow certain standards. Okay, so that's about it for today. I don't want to bore you. Some people are already losing interest, so I don't want to bother you too much. Today I don't cover too much of content for sure. However, I have covered a very important aspect, which is nothing but organizing your stuff. Okay, learning technology is very, very straightforward. There's nothing complicated with it. How to use technology is very, very important. Okay, I'm just going to the docs.google.com to just review what is covered today and what is pending for the next session so that you have an idea. So I have covered files, and I have covered up to an extent managing files. I haven't covered file extensions yet. I will do that as part of the next session. So here I am highlighting this so that I don't forget. If I do not highlight when I start as part of the next session, I will definitely forget this because it is not as part of the order. So files is done, and you have to observe these things and you have to pick up some of these things by yourselves. I might not explain in detail. That's why observation is very, very important. So I have already covered files, and hence I'm highlighting as part of the using green as color. Even managing files I have covered, and then this I have to add to cover. Then I have to go to the dealing with trash and searching for files, recents, etc. All these things will be covered. These things will be very straightforward as long as you are organized yourself. So that is very, very important more than anything else. Understanding how to make sure that files are sorted and organized as we create them over a period of time so that you can get back to those as quickly as possible. Anything before we call for the day? Anyone have any questions around the content so far? Also, I would like to take your feedback if it is too slow or if it is too fast, and based on that, I can make some corrections. Yeah, others, you can talk. I have seen you have raised the hand. Sorry, it's Hiren, not others. Yeah, Hiren.
So, in last class, you asked us to evaluate. You evaluated some of us.
Yeah. I got the pattern already. I don't need to spend too much of time. I have you in my mind. I will definitely evaluate separately, but I understood the pattern. So even when you get into the advanced mathematics, right, as you grow, there is something called as statistics, and there is a concept of sampling. So out of these 11 kids, I have used 3 kids as a sample, and I know I am able to figure out where each of you stand. That's why I don't want to spend too much of time into that. But you are an outlier. There is a concept of outlier also in statistics. Okay, you are an outlier. I will definitely spend time with you as part of the next session or next to next session to evaluate where you stand, and then I will take it further. But as of now, there are some sessions which are very important. I would highly recommend even you to follow these sessions. You might not get 100% value out of this, but at least 50 to 60%, it will definitely help you to get better at using your computer. Okay. And Ipshita, you can also unmute yourself and give the feedback or ask any question.
Are we going to get to like Google Drive at one point?
Yes. So I will give access to my Google Drive so that I have control of what you are doing. And I will explain not only just Google Drive, but also something called as Google Suite, which contain Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, etc. Okay, Google Suite is the group of all these tools. I will explain those things in detail, and also I will make sure that you can collaborate with each other using those tools so that you can work on a bit complex projects as a team. Okay, so I will be covering all those things, and it might take a bit of time before we get in there, but yes, I will be emphasizing on that quite a lot because I want you guys to collaborate with each other no matter where you are. It need not be with the friends of this batch, but even with your personal friends, I would like to collaborate and work on more complex stuff as you grow, and I will make sure that you get those skills. Okay, I also want to hear the feedback if it is too slow or if it is too fast, or if you are able to follow. I will at least ask, I will at least take the feedback from 3 to 4 people. Again, that comes as part of the sampling. When you get into the statistics, you will understand the concept of sampling and all. Okay, so I would like to ask the feedback from Preetham. I want to take your feedback. What do you feel so far? Is it going at a bit comfortable pace, or you feel it is a bit slow or fast?
I feel pretty comfortable.
Okay. What about you, Hasni?
It feels good.
Okay. And Ipshita?
It's good.
What about you, Slok? Slok?
Good.
Okay. And what about my accent? Is it decent enough? Is it close to US accent? I want to pick it up, and I would highly recommend you to correct my accent. Okay, I am a student for you, especially those who are in US. Okay, so make sure you correct my accent so that I can make this reachable to more and more kids like you, because I will be uploading these videos to YouTube. If my accent is close to US accent, then more kids in US will get benefit out of it. In India, anyway, people will be able to pick my accent. It's not a big problem. But I want to appeal to both US as well as the Indian audience. Not only them, but across the globe. But I cannot adjust for all the accents. But at least I can cover these two major nations. Okay. So I am a student with respect to accent for those who are living in US. Make sure you correct me so that the videos can reach out to broader audience. And those who are interested in to become YouTubers in future, especially those who correct my accent and give the critical feedback, I will conduct a couple of sessions exclusively for them, and I will try to help them becoming a YouTubers as you guys grow. It need not be immediately, but as you guys grow, if your parents are also comfortable, then definitely I will walk you through about how to become YouTubers, how to create videos, how to edit them, and all those things. Okay. Okay, then thank you and see you on Tuesday. I appreciate you being silent throughout the session. I hope this will help you in getting the key skills to empower yourself with these skills and be more productive, and also work towards the collaborative way of work, putting your effort. Thank you. Bye.